Paper Flowers, a Sanderside's fan fiction, written and read by Love Living My Dreams. Face to face. Woman sat in the field hugging his knees, making himself small. He hadn't expected to ever need this sanctuary to escape the way Virgil did, but right now there was only one side he wanted anywhere near him, and knowing that only he would be able to reach him here made him feel safer. He tried not to scoff at the ridiculousness of it. He didn't think it was ridiculous when Virgil needed it this way, and he didn't want Virgil to think that he did. Still, he shouldn't be needing it. Hey, Princey, Virgil offered gently as he joined him on the ground. He shouldn't need to be spoken to in such a soft, careful tone. I know what you're thinking, and I know I won't be able to say anything to make you feel like those thoughts aren't true right now. But can you believe that I don't think you are stupid for being here for to be away from Logan for a little while? Virgil offered. Woman considered that and let go of his knees, stretching his legs out in front of him and leaning back on his hands. I guess that suffices, he allowed, making Virgil snicker a bit, making him feel a little bit better. Want to talk about it? I didn't hear the whole thing. I just saw you walk away looking upset, and Logan was the only other one in the room. I don't think he realizes he crossed the line, Virgil stated. He thinks I'm being dramatic, doesn't he? Roman guessed, darkly, as he plucked at the nearest flower, not even registering the species it represented. Well, yeah, but he thinks that of everyone, Virgil pointed out. A small comfort, but a comfort nonetheless. Yeah, he does, he agreed. You didn't answer, Virgil pointed out, done with the stalling. Bowman sighed and let himself fall back, looking up at the clouds drifting by in the eternal sunset of their secret garden. It's not silly, but I feel like it didn't need to get as far as it did. But you know how I get, and Logan does too, and still he insists on pushing me, he exclaimed in frustration, throwing an arm over his eyes. Virgil just waited for him to explain further. So I was explaining some ideas for maybe a set and maybe costume upgrades. Just something down the line if the Standard Side series keeps going well. I got a bit carried away, but Roman took a deep breath. Logan was a bit final in his reply. I tried to argue. He was not impressed. He called me, well, not stupid outright, but you know. Virgil's toe nudged his side. That blows, man, he offered, empathetically. Yeah, Roman agreed. You aren't stupid. You know that, right? Virgil insisted. You aren't book smart like Logan, but you're your own kind of brilliant. Roman dropped his arm from his face and looked at Virgil with a smile. Thank you, he said sincerely. Don't mention it. Virgil sighed as he lay down as well. I just wish they'd listen. Actually listen. For once, he mused. Not to us, Roman concluded sadly. True. They do enjoy hearing themselves talk, huh? Virgil jested. We have that problem too sometimes, Roman allowed. We got a bit better at it, his friend countered. True, Roman smiled, happy he'd taken that leap. Happy he'd seen that working together could be good for Thomas. Suddenly he shut up. But I know who can make them, he exclaimed, as he jumped to his feet and rushed to his room, followed by a curious Virgil. He'd explain it as he would. Virgil was right. He was brilliant. Logan proofread the scenario for quality. He didn't find anything, which was surprisingly frustrating. He didn't like the irrational reason behind his frustration. Hey, Logan, we're going to have dinner soon, so. Oh, is that a new script? Patton wondered as he joined him at his desk. Yes, remarkably well done for a first draft. There has been an increase in quality in his first draft script for a while now, Logan noted. Well, that's a good thing, right? You always wanted women to be more careful when writing those so you wouldn't have to correct them as much, Patton pointed out. Logan supposed he had said something like that. What is it about? Patton wondered. How the mind and the heart might disagree on the best approach on certain issues, Logan explained. He would call it petty revenge on the nine women's request for the ridiculous commitments regarding the series. But it was too good to just be petty, though the timing suggested that the dispute had been the catalyst for this subject, and certain aspects, while no doubt providing a bit of humorous levity in the video, were definitely also petty. Oh, we're not that bad, are we? Patton wondered. Logan almost chuckled, because Roman seemingly had managed to predict both their reactions to the concept. I suppose we shall see, Logan mused as he put the script in the approved pile. What was that about dinner? Essays are stupid, especially for ethics class. You push away from your desk and you pick up your phone. You need a distraction. And oh, the glorious internet gods smile down upon you and deliver to you another Sanders Sites video. This should be fun. Mind versus heart, huh? Interesting. Morality and logic, both popping up in unicorn onesies, had you in stitches. And then poor Thomas could not even formulate the theme of the video without the duo breaking into chaos. Luckily, Thomas called them to order. It was interesting to see Thomas redefine his sides a bit. You heard that he'd never intended this to be more than a one-time bit. So it kind of makes sense that he tries to expand on the lore and as he goes now that that it seems to be popular. And yeah, those two seem like they are on the opposite but equally important sides of the spectrum. Morality trying to point the finger at anxiety and logic doing the same with Princey almost has you defensive. It just never sits well with you when you see someone put a blame or whatever on someone who wasn't there to defend themselves. Thomas managed to get back on topic though, and give some good examples of the issue that were pretty relatable. Wanting to do a thing but knowing it's not very realistic in practice, by example. Also good on him for being understanding towards the why and still guard the clear boundaries with morality. You have been studying too long. You are psychoanalyzing these characters too much. Anyway, the solution was a good one as well, as Thomas's analysis of the pitfalls each of them might fall into in their pursuit of his best interest. It was an important thing to keep in mind when making a compromise between what would be good and what would be smart. It really seems like Logic was expecting a much bigger scolding than what was heading its way, though. Lore? Plot? Perhaps? And it was so good how the two gave examples on how each could concede a bit towards the other side. Though morality derailed a little bit there. And now they are back in their pajamas. Classic. And Logic making a pun in the end credits. Brilliant. You close the YouTube app on your phone and look back at your desk and your waiting essay. Compromise, huh? Roman and Virgil were hanging out in Roman's room, laughing a bit about the video. The onesies were a masterful addition, Roman declared. I still alight with laughter. Not taking credit. All I did was mention that every time I get summoned, I wondered if next time I'll be doing something embarrassing. You made that into something usable, Virgil agreed. Roman was about to argue, but there was a knock on the door. Curious. It shouldn't be time to eat yet. Virgil was already hiding behind the garden door by the time Roman got up to head to his front door. Yes? Logan, what brings you here? He wondered, perplexed. Woman, I know that what the onesies were about. I won't hold it against you, as it seems you might also have been trying to communicate something else to me through your script, he explained. Roman had hoped so, of course, but he hadn't really believed it would work. Oh, he replied, a bit unsure of what else to say. We have different tasks, you and I, And I might come across as dismissive of your ideas when I see other priorities in front of me, but I could make an effort to consider that your ideas are not entirely frivolous, though I might not see it that way, he explained, sounding like he took great care with his words. Woman could feel Virgil's friendship bracelet still sit around his wrist as a reminder that reaching out could turn out well. Well, I, too, could make an effort to keep the schedule and budget in mind and make it clear when something can be a long term goal, he offered in return. Logan nodded. That would be appreciated. I will see you at dinner, he offered. Yeah, Woman agreed before closing the door. Dude, Virgil mused from his position on the bed. Yeah, I think that was progress, Woman realized. Virgil grinned. Told you you are brilliant. And that's it for this week. I have two more chapters already written out for now. The chapter I'm currently writing on is going to be the Q&A video. So, if anyone has a question they would like to have in that video, feel free to leave one in the comments. I would love to make that chapter with your input and any chapter really. If you have ideas or suggestions or questions, it can only help me think things through in a different way than I did before. I would love to get your input. Have a good one, everyone, and I hope to see you next week. Bye.